Welcome, everyone. Welcome to episode 20 of Niagara Performs, the FirstOntario Performing Arts Centre's online concert and event series this week featuring the Foster Festival. My name is Sarah Palmieri, and I'm proud to be the Programming and Marketing Manager at the PAC. Thank you for joining us today on Facebook and YouTube Live. All of our Niagara Performs events are archived to the PAC's YouTube channel. So if you didn't have a chance to catch it or you know friends that want to, make sure to tell them to check it out. These events are also being rebroadcasted on Your TV Niagara. So there's lots of ways for the community to enjoy. Since mid-April, we have been presenting this online series showcasing Niagara arts and arts organizations. And tonight, it's another great night where we get to share some love with the PAC's anchor summer tenant, the Foster Festival. In normal times, the Foster Festival would be well on their way into their summer season in the recital hall at the Performing Arts Centre. But instead, we're gathering here online tonight to celebrate the company with a live reading of Foster favorite Here on the Flight Path. So I'd like to now welcome the Foster Festival's artistic producer, Emily Oriold, to tell us more about the company and what we're going to experience tonight. Hey, Emily.
Hi, Sarah. Thank you so much for inviting us to be a part of this tonight.
Of course, it wouldn't be summer without the Foster Festival.
Oh, thank you. Yes, we definitely miss being at the PAC this summer. We miss seeing our audiences and all of our Foster friends. But I did want to say a special thank you to the Performing Arts Centre for creating Niagara Performs. It's really been a lifeline for so many artists in our community to be able to still share our art. So thank you so much for that. It means a lot.
Well, thank you for being part of it. And I'm going to hand it off to you, and I'll see you on the other side. And have a great time, friends.
Perfect. Thanks, Sarah. Hello, everyone, and welcome to what tonight is for us, the premiere of our Norm Flicks Artist Series. And what we are going to be offering in the Artist Series are scene readings from some of Norm Foster's most famous plays. Tonight, we are reading a scene from Here on the Flight Path, as Sarah mentioned. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about this show in case you didn't get to see it. So John, who's the main character in the play, he's a back porch philosopher. And he lives in an apartment building. And over 3.5 years, he has 3 different neighbors move in beside him. The first one is Faye, then Angel, and then Gwen. Tonight, you're going to meet John and Gwen. And you're going to see John meet her for the first time. And you're going to see how it unfolds. I don't want to spoil anything. And I think that you are going to love this. It's the trademark humor with heart. It's one of Norm Foster's funniest plays, as many people say. And I will say that it is starring Jamie Williams and Melanie Janzen, who some of you may have seen in this production in 2016 in our inaugural season. And it was originally directed by Blair Williams. Thank you so much for joining us. We know that nothing can replace the experience of live theater, but we are so thrilled to be able to engage with both our artists and our audiences in this new online series. We hope you enjoy the reading.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome. I'm Jamie.
I'm Melanie. We're so pleased to be here.
Thrilled to be reading this third act of Norm's Here on the Flight Path. Mel and I have had the privilege to do 3 different productions of this play over the years.
This would be somewhat the fourth, I guess, or at least the fourth time taking a look at the play in a truncated form anyway.
That's right. And every time we get a chance to revisit it, it's amazing how much more we discover, based on where we're at. But also there's just so much depth to Norm's writing that, it stands up under further scrutiny. And it's just been a real joy to continue to take a look at this piece. So I think with that,
we're going to just jump right in.
We're going to jump right in. Okay.
All right.
Here we go.
The readers.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
You the new tenant?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Leonard Cohen, huh?
Oh, yes. I listen to his music whenever I'm feeling down.
Yeah, that'll pull you out of it. Paging Dr. Kevorkian. I mean, what is it with Leonard Cohen, huh? I think it's about time that someone had the temerity to say, hey, the emperor has no clothes. This man can't sing. Oh, listen, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult your taste in music.
No, it's not that. It's something else.
Oh, good. Well, not good, but not as bad. I'm John.
Gwen.
Hey, like the astronaut, John Gwen. So, what is it, Gwen? If you don't mind my asking. I mean, I'm not being nosy or anything. If you don't want to tell me, that's fine. I just figure as long as we're going to be neighbors, we can share things. You know, we can share things. But if you don't want to tell me, hey, that's fine. That's fine. So what is it, Gwen?
I've left my husband.
Oh, no. Oh, that's a shame. No, I'm sorry, but hey, it happens. Breakups happen. It happened to me. No, it's just a fact of life. Two people drift apart. They grow in different directions. Maybe one of them meets someone else. There's any number of reasons for it. What happened with yours?
His handkerchief?
I'm sorry, his what?
He has a handkerchief.
And
Well, that's it.
he has a handkerchief.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Well, for the entire 20 years of our marriage, my husband has been using a handkerchief. You know what that means? That means he takes out his handkerchief, blows his nose into it, and puts it back into his pocket. Now, I've never understood that. I mean, when you blow your nose into something, wouldn't you want to get rid of it as soon as you could? I would, but no. He puts it back into his pocket, and then he'll use it again and again and again. And then after all that, he'll bring it home and put it into the laundry basket. Well, I have things in that laundry basket that I wear, that I put on my body. How do I know there hasn't been a transference somewhere? And where does that stuff go in the wash? It doesn't just disappear. No, it's still in there somewhere. It's like playing mucus roulette. And so finally, 2 weeks ago, I asked him to stop using a handkerchief and start using tissues. And he refused. So I left.
You left because he wouldn't stop using a handkerchief.
Yes.
Well, there must have been more to it than that. There must have been something else wrong between you two.
No.
What, you didn't fight?
No.
Did he spend a lot of time out with the boys?
No.
Played golf every day?
No.
Well, watched sports on television all weekend?
No.
Drank too much?
No.
So it was just
a handkerchief. If he'd agreed to use tissues, I wouldn't have left.
Wow.
What about you? What happened to your marriage?
Oh, listen, I've thought about that, and I just don't know.
Oh, did you two fight?
Yeah.
Did you spend a lot of time with the boys?
Yeah.
Play golf every day?
Yeah.
Watch sports on television all weekend?
Yeah.
Drink too much?
Oh, yeah.
And you don't know what happened?
No idea.
Oh.
There, you see? You've only been at the Aurora Terrace Apartments for 24 hours, and you're feeling better already.
How do you know how long I've been here?
Yeah, Mr. Bishop across the hall. He says you've got a lovely dining room set, by the way.
It's a wedding present from my mother.
Oh. So, do you work, Gwen?
Well, I was a driving instructor back home.
No kidding. Where's home?
Vancouver.
Oh. So why did you move here?
Well, my daughter Cindy is going to university here. She just started last week, so I thought this might be a good place to get myself together.
Oh.
Do you have children?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, hang on a sec. I've got their picture here. That's Jack. He's 12. And that's Rose.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
Thanks.
Do you think you'll ever get married again?
Me? No.
Why not?
Well, you know, someone else was asked that question once, and he said, marriage is too much trouble. Next time I'm just going to find a woman I hate and buy her a house.
Oh.
So what did your husband say when you left?
Oh, he was pretty upset. Very upset.
Does he know you're here?
No. No, I called him this morning to tell him where I was so he wouldn't worry, but there was no answer. I expect he'll be calling anytime now.
Boy, September's great, isn't it? It's my favorite time of year. Yeah, to me, September's a time to wipe the slate clean. It's time for a fresh new start.
Yeah.
I mean, the summer's behind us now. The kids are back in school. It seems a time for all kinds of change.
Yes, it's my favorite time of year too.
Really?
Oh, yes, the colors, the cool air. I love it.
I know what you're thinking. We're hitting it off pretty good here. Plus, she's an attractive woman. She's alone. But I wasn't going to pursue it. And I'll tell you why. You see, she just left her husband. She was on the rebound. Now, she hadn't had time to sort out her feelings yet. No, in a situation like this, a person needs a period of mourning, I guess you'd call it. You know, to rush in and begin a relationship by asking her out would be stupid, not to mention insensitive. And even worse, it would be a sign of utter desperation on my part. Would you like to go out sometime?
What? Go out?
Yeah, it might take your mind off your troubles.
Oh, no. I'm not ready for a man to see me naked yet.
No, I just meant dinner. Or do you eat in the nude?
No. You see, it'll start out as dinner, but then we'll want to go out again and again. And then after 3 dates, we'll want to sleep together.
3 days?
And I'm just not ready to undress in front of a new man. I'm 39 years old and I've had a child and my body shows it.
Well, I don't think it shows.
Well, if I took off my clothes, it would show it like a giant scoreboard.
Well, I hate to tell you this, Gwen, but if you were hoping to hide your body from me, you're too late.
What?
Yeah, I've already undressed you with my eyes.
Oh, you have?
You bet. So you might as well just go out with me now.
How did I look?
Pretty damn good.
Do men do that all the time? You undress women with their eyes?
All the time.
With every woman?
Everyone. There are no exceptions. It's like a reflex. Unfortunately, there are some women we don't want to see undressed, but before we can stop ourselves, boom, there it is.
It must be awful for you.
It's a curse.
Well, getting back to your dinner invitation, no thank you. My husband's the only man I've ever been out with, and I'm not so sure I remember how to act on a date.
No, wait a minute, wait. You mean you've only been out with one man in your whole life?
Yes.
In your entire life?
Yes, we were high school sweethearts.
Uh-huh. And does it follow then that you've only, slept with one man?
Yes.
Boy, that's great.
Why is that great?
Well, if we do go out, and if, like you say, after a few dates we want to get intimate, there's only one guy that I've got to be better than.
Do men actually think about that? About being better at it than other men?
Oh, yeah. The problem is, though, it's like being a gunslinger. There's always somebody who's faster, or in this case, slower. You sure you don't want to go out?
No, I don't think so, but thank you.
Yeah, all right, then I'll tell you what. I'm going to barbecue tonight. Why don't you come on out on your balcony later and I'll pass you a steak. It won't be a date, but we'll still be having dinner together.
No, I don't eat red meat.
No problem. I'll burn it.
Oh, no thanks.
No, all right, I'll make you a salad then, huh? Sure, we'll sit, we'll eat. You can tell me all about yourself.
Well, there's not much to tell. There's not much to me.
Oh, I bet there's more than you think. Besides, in times of stress, it's very important to stay nourished. Very important. Why, this salad could save your life.
So you're worried about my health?
It's my primary concern.
Well, as long as it's for my own good. All right.
Terrific.
I'll see you tonight. Am I dressed now?
Now you are. So Gwen came out that evening and I made her a salad and I had my steak. Then we had some wine and Gwen had some more wine and she had some more wine. And you know what? I was right. There was more to Gwen than she was letting on.
We used to dance.
Dance?
Yes, my husband and I. We used to dance in our living room all the time. Oh, I loved that. I mean, there's nothing more romantic, is there, than two people pressed against one another, swaying to a beautiful piece of music. Of course, that all stopped a few years ago. I don't know why. I guess the romance just goes out of a marriage after a while. Were you and your wife romantic?
My wife and I were to romance what Abbott and Costello were to indoor soccer.
Well, I miss the romance.
Have you got any music on that thing that you can dance to?
Sure, lots.
Well, let's go then.
What?
Let's dance.
Are you serious?
Dead serious. Let's go. Show me what you got.
What, here?
Yes, right here. Come on.
Well, all right.
All right.
It's been quite a while, though. Might be a little rusty.
Well, you just follow my lead then.
Do you like to dance?
A little bit. Most of all, I like what you said about pressing up against someone.
There we go. Hmm.
There, that's not bad. You're doing fine.
You think so?
Yes, wonderful. I'm enjoying this very much.
You know what the trouble with men is, John?
What's that, Gwen?
Hell, I don't know. I was hoping you could tell me. I mean, I've only been out with one man in my whole life. Of course, from what I hear, I haven't missed much.
Have you heard from your husband yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, well, I'm sure he'll be calling soon.
Maybe, maybe not. I mean, he's a stubborn SOB. Asking me to come back would be admitting defeat. Be like asking him to stop at a gas station to ask for directions.
Would you go back if he asked you?
Are you kidding? After all that's happened, not likely. Besides, I've got a neighbor who cooks for me, gives me wine, and dances with me. To tell you the truth, I'm starting to enjoy it here. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
No, I thought they'd get in the way.
Well, I can work around them.
Should I keep them on?
If you like.
Or off?
Either one.
On or off?
Whatever.
Is there any more wine?
Yeah, sure.
I just hope I don't wind up like other women I know who split up after being married all their lives.
What happened to them?
They went wild. Going out every night, partying, rediscovering their sexuality.
Oh, no, you don't want to do that.
Well, you don't. Good heavens. Surely there's more to life than that. I mean, how much sex can you have before it wears thin?
Before what wears thin? Oh, before the idea wears thin. Well, I don't know how much that would take, but it's a study I'd volunteer to be part of.
So tell me, John Boy, what do you do besides write that column of yours? Do you do anything to relax?
Well, I've got a novel I'm working on.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I haven't actually started it yet, but I've got the story all mapped out up here. Once I get it started, it'll practically write itself. And I like to golf. And most of all, I like to sit out here and watch.
Watch what?
The world.
Can't see much of the world from here.
Oh, no, that's where you're wrong. I can see my whole world from up here. Every bit of it. Yeah, for instance, down there, you see that man coming out of the sporting goods store? You see him there? That's a fella. Lives down the street here, about 2 blocks. He's retired now. And not too many people in the neighborhood know this. But he spent 25 years in Europe during the Cold War as a double agent.
Get out.
No, really.
What's his name?
William.
Hey, Willie! Hey, spy boy! Up here!
No, Gwen, no, I wouldn't do that.
Why not?
Well, I think he wants to keep the spy thing hush-hush.
Oh. So who else do you know?
Oh, that woman there just getting into her car, red coat. That's Connie. In 1958, she won a contest where first prize was dinner with Bing Crosby. Now, that's right, I had dinner with him in a hotel not 2 miles from here. Now, of course, the dinner only lasted an hour, and the hotel's been burnt down for years now. But if you start a conversation with her, within 30 seconds, Bing Crosby's name will come up, and that whole dinner will be served all over again.
Oh, that is so sweet.
So anyway, that's what I do.
Mm.
What about you? What do you do to relax?
Oh, not much.
Well, you must do something. After spending your whole day in a car with people who can't drive, you must need to wind down somehow.
Well, there is one thing I do.
There, you see? What is it?
I write poetry.
Poetry.
Yes, I put my feelings down in poems. It's very therapeutic.
Really? Poems? Well, you'll have to read one to me sometime.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I'm a huge poetry fan. Huge. I mean, I've never written any myself, but I read it voraciously. Can't get enough of it. When?
My husband never wanted to hear them. I guess the SOB wasn't interested. So do you really want to hear some?
Some. Of course, yes.
Oh, right.
How long are they?
Why?
No reason.
What's the matter? You got to be someplace?
No.
Well, then sit down and shut up. All right, the first one's called Love is a Tar Pit. Oh, wait a minute. That one's not in this book of poems. It's in the big book. Hang on.
What, the big book? And so for the next 3 hours and 23 minutes, Gwen read me her poems and I listened to every one, and I didn't doze off once. In fact, as I listened to her read, I thought back to my reasons for hating poetry in the first place. It was that poet that my ex-wife took up with. And I thought, am I really that petty? Am I willing to reject an entire segment of the literary community just because of that? And the more I listened, the more I realized that no, I really do hate poetry. In spite of that, Gwen and I started going out together. It wasn't really dating for the first couple of weeks. It was just a few dinners on the balcony here with the wall between us. But then we actually went out of the building a couple of times. Yeah, once to a Leonard Cohen concert and once to a poetry reading. I liked Gwen. She was a good person. She was kind, thoughtful, intelligent. And I liked her a lot. And I got the impression that she liked me too.
Good morning.
Good morning.
There you go. Found some juice in your fridge.
Well, how'd that get there? Must have been in there when I moved in.
Oh, it's a beautiful morning.
Yeah, can't be too many nice days like this left.
Did you sleep well?
Very well. And you?
Oh, like a baby.
Good. So,
So,
here we are.
that's right. Here we are. Lovers.
Yeah, I guess we are.
You remember those women I told you about who get divorced and then go out and rediscover themselves sexually?
Yeah.
Well, maybe they're onto something after all.
Well, they've got my blessing.
You know, I've never had a lover before. Outside of marriage, I mean. It's kind of exciting. Oh, I must sound silly, like a child who's just petted her first hamster.
Hamster?
Or her first horse.
Thank you.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
I mean, I've only been with one man before, so maybe I'm a little insecure. I don't know, but
Gwen, what is it?
I don't know how to put this.
Well, just put it. What?
Was I good?
Were you?
No, don't tell me. I don't want to know. Forget it.
No, you were. You were.
I was?
Yes.
Oh.
Very good.
Uh-huh.
I mean, why would you worry about that? I mean, hell, from a man's point of view, to be good, you pretty much just have to be there. No, that didn't come out right. You were great. Don't worry about that at all.
Thank you. Did you want to know how you were?
No, I know how tough you driving instructors can be. It's almost impossible to get a passing grade from you people.
Oh, no, I thought you did very well.
Oh?
Yes, you had no trouble getting your vehicle into gear. Your parking was good. And you didn't go too fast. Next time, though, just make sure no one else is coming before you pull out.
Gee, I honked first.
Oh, and yes, you were better than my husband.
No, I wasn't going to ask you that.
You weren't?
No, it never crossed my mind.
Oh,
I haven't thought about it. But I was better, huh?
yes.
Good. So have you heard from him yet?
No.
Oh, that's odd, isn't it? I mean, you said he was upset when you left.
Well, it's a pride thing with Wayne.
Wayne, huh? You haven't mentioned his name before.
Haven't I?
No.
Didn't think it was important, I guess.
What does he do anyway?
He's with the Vancouver Police Department.
The police department.
Yes.
The police department. How about that? What capacity? Dispatcher, clerk?
He's a detective.
A detective?
Yes, he's with homicide.
Homicide. Well, isn't that nice? Homicide. So he'd have a working knowledge of firearms then.
Oh, yes.
Probably carries one.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Boy, you know, Gwen, I really wish you told me this before.
Why?
Why? Well, I'd just like to know beforehand that I'm sleeping with Dirty Harry's wife.
Oh, Wayne's not going to do anything.
Well, I wish I could believe that, but what if he goes off the deep end?
No, he won't.
Well, you never know. He might snap.
He's 2,000 miles away.
Yeah, but you know, there's this new thing out called air travel.
John, I'm telling you, he won't do anything.
No, you don't know
No,
that.
I do know that because I didn't leave him. He left me
He left you.
for another woman.
Oh.
So you've got nothing to worry about, okay? He doesn't give a damn about what I'm doing or who I'm doing it with.
I'm sorry.
No, I should have told you.
When did this happen?
August 27th, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We had just seen Cindy off at the airport and we were driving back home and he told me, right there in the car.
What did you say?
I didn't say anything. He was talking, explaining, apologizing, and I couldn't say anything. I just stared out my window at the other cars, wondering what the people in those cars were thinking and talking about, wishing I could be anywhere but in this car at this moment. So anyway, I left that night and I came out here. And I guess I was wishing that he would come after me, but he hasn't, has he? So I put this house up for sale, and there you have it. That's the real story. I was embarrassed about being dumped. That's why I told you the other story.
The handkerchief story.
Right. Wasn't very good, was it?
No, I bought it. Yeah, I think it was the mucus roulette that really sold it to me.
Oh, I better go.
Why?
Well, I feel a little silly. I'm ashamed of myself.
Ashamed? Why?
Well, for being dumped, first of all, kind of lowers your self-worth. And secondly, I lied to you. I slept with you under false pretenses.
Well, false pretenses? Men don't care about false pretenses. Hell, we invented false pretenses.
Well, I gotta go.
Well, listen, do you want to do something tonight?
I don't know, John.
Well, Gwen, look. I don't care who left who. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just glad you're here.
You are?
Yes, very glad.
Well, maybe we can do something tonight. What did you have in mind?
Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe the same thing we did last night?
Are you sure? We wouldn't want to get into a rut.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Okay, this time you wear the Wonder Woman costume. You know what this was now? This was a relationship. I didn't see that coming. That's the problem with being a man. We can't see beyond the very first objective. No, you see, when a man meets a woman he's attracted to, a temporary blindness settles in, and it doesn't clear up until that first objective has been achieved. And sometimes, because of this blindness, we miss seeing things about the woman. You know, little things which may or may not affect the relationship down the road. Or for instance, maybe she likes gardening. You don't. You speak English. She doesn't. Little things. Funny though, what I was seeing in Gwen now were positive things. Yeah, we had fun together. We made each other laugh. And in our serious moments, we really seemed to care about what the other person was feeling. Now, mind you, Gwen and I were a far cry from talking about a lasting relationship, a far cry, but I had the feeling that given time, something could happen here. Then came the late October afternoon. It was a cool afternoon. I was out here gathering up my things to put them into storage for the winter.
John.
Oh, hi, Gwen.
Hi.
Looks like we've seen the last of the warm weather, huh?
Yes, I guess so.
Hey, listen, if you've got anything you want to store, I've got plenty of room.
John, I'm going home.
You're what?
I'm going home.
Home where? What do you mean home?
Back to Vancouver.
Oh. For how long?
For good.
Oh. I see. So, does this mean you and your husband have worked things out?
Oh, no, nothing like that. Far from it. In fact, I've come to the realization that the reason I moved out here was just to get Wayne's attention, and putting up the house up for sale, that was the same thing. It was my way of trying to get him back. There were signs of weakness on my part.
Weakness, huh? And is that what you were doing with me, trying to get him back?
Yes, probably. I'm sorry, John.
No, don't be sorry. No, I mean, it's good for you. It's good that you've discovered this about yourself, that you've gone through this catharsis. That's good.
Well, I didn't do it all alone. I had some help from a neighbor.
Oh, well, I don't know what I said, but if it helped you, I'm pleased.
Oh, no. I didn't mean you. It was Mr. Bishop across the hall.
Mr. Bishop?
Yeah, he gave me these personal power DVDs he had.
Oh.
So now I realize that that's where I belong. I mean, I've got friends back there. I've got a house that I love that I don't want to sell. Plus, I had a job I liked. I have a life back there, John. I want to go back and I want to reclaim it.
Well, then you should. Absolutely.
You mean it?
Yes. Yes, I do.
You're not mad?
No, why would I be mad? No.
Good. Will you come visit me?
Yeah, sure. Definitely. Just tell me when and I'll be there.
Really?
Yeah, I'm booking the flight tomorrow. I'm on my way.
You won't, will you?
Probably not.
I guess we're just two ships, huh?
I guess so.
We did more than just pass, though.
Oh, I know. We boarded.
Can we have dinner sometime before I leave? I'd like it if we could.
You bring the salad, I'll bring the sirloin.
Good. Well, I better start packing.
Yeah. You know, we were hitting it off, I thought. You know, I thought there was something there. Maybe.
No, there was something there. There still is.
But you're still going back.
Like I said, my life is back there, and I'm not going to give it up because of my husband or anybody else. It means too much to me.
Good. No, good for you. I hate Tony Robbins now, but good for you.
You could come back with me. Maybe we could continue this out there, see what happens.
No, I couldn't. My life is here.
Yeah, I thought so.
But thanks for asking. That means something anyway.
You know, my daughter's still out here.
No, she'd be too young for me.
No, I meant that maybe I'll be back sometime to visit her.
Oh.
And maybe I could stay here with you. We could keep each other company for a few days.
Well, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm looking for a little more than that now.
Ah.
But hey, if you ever need someone to talk to, someone who knows you really well, who knows everything about you, you know who to call.
Mr. Bishop across the hall.
That's right.
Oh, I'd better go in.
Yeah.
Goodbye, John.
Bye, Gwen.
By the way, I was wrong
About what?
about not missing much by only being out with one man my whole life. I was wrong.
Gwen left a week later, 4 days ago. Oh, we didn't have that dinner together. And it was very cordial, polite, actually. And I sincerely doubt that I'll ever see her again. As for me, well, in the time that I spent with Faye and Angel and Gwen, I'd changed. Yeah, I'd gone from a carefree man with no direction in his life to a troubled man with no direction in his life. And what troubled me now was I was looking for a meaningful relationship, romance. I was in danger of heading down that commitment path again. So I've decided that I'm just going to get out of harm's way. That's right. I'm going to forget about women altogether, put them right out of my head. What I'm going to do from here on in is throw myself into my work. Get that novel written finally. I mean, it's already written up here. All I have to do is get it down on paper. In fact, what the hell? There's no time like the present, right? I'm going to start today. This very afternoon. Right now. Or maybe tomorrow. Thank you, everybody. That concludes our reading. Thank you very much for joining us.
Don't leave us yet, though, because we're going to invite Norm Foster to come and chat with you and take questions. And
hopefully we'll provide, or he'll provide some answers.
There he is.
Hi, everybody. That was great, you two. That was terrific. The play was written 24 years ago, I think, and it sure took me back to. It was really good to hear it again. I don't go back and read my plays over and over again. So, but but to hear some of the stuff that went on in this show, and you guys did it so well, it was great. I was really
Bless. Thank you.
the relationship. The relationship. I was happy the way it turned out. Yeah.
Well,
thanks,
we always
Nora.
hope to please the playwright, of course. We love it.
Great. I guess we're going to take questions now. Is that the idea? If anybody has any questions, they can. I guess they put them up on the screen, and I'll answer them if I can. I laughed, along the way when you were reading, because a friend of mine once said, "Nobody laughs at Foster like Foster." So,
Yeah, we've enjoyed you when you have been out in the audience, because we can hear your wonderful laugh, and it's very encouraging to us. So yeah.
It's when we don't hear you laughing that we worry.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
It's and it was great. It was great to do this reading tonight, but boy, it's you miss the audience, because the audience is so much a part of your shows.
I know, especially this one, because I performed this one for a long time too, and as you hear the laughter from an audience, it just spurs you along, right? It's just great.
Oh, absolutely.
Somebody has a question. Mel and Jamie, did you keep your notes from the time you performed it together for the first time?
From the first time,
I certainly keep my script.
I've kept the notes from the last 2 times that we did it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I
At
have
the very
the first
least.
one. I do find it helpful to go back and see what directors have offered me in the past.
Yeah.
But of course, at the same time, it's it's an opportunity to improve on the choices that you made before, and so there's this kind of balance between wanting to hang on to things that were really, really helpful, but not wanting to get stuck there too.
Sure. Yeah.
So we do tend to hang on to them, but
We try to approach each new production as a new,
Fresh.
as a fresh play.
Yeah. And sometimes when if you've done the same show with 2 different directors, you kind of look forward to getting some new direction to see how that turns out,
Absolutely, yeah.
How long does it take to write a play? Well, the shortest time it's taken me was a month. And the longest time is probably a year. So an average is about, I'd say 3-4 months. I get the idea, I think about it for a month, and then I start to write. And I let my characters take me to. I have a beginning point and an ending point, and I work towards the ending point. But I let my characters take me there. And that's, for me, that's the fun of writing, is see how the characters get me to the end point. So yeah, it usually takes about 3 or 4 months until that first draft is done when I want to show it to somebody. And
Has your experience of has your experience of writing plays changed over the years? Has your enjoyment level changed? Has your
yeah, you know what? It's funny you say that, because I think in the last 7-8 years, I think my plays have become a little, for lack of a better word, a little smarter. The characters are a little, the dialogue is a little brighter and smarter. And I think that comes from having written so many before. Mm-hmm. You look back and you say, "Oh, gee, I could have done that here. Could have done this here." I think that my tastes have changed somewhat along the way, so as a result, I wanted to write plays that were smart, and the characters were crisp and well drawn out. And so I think the plays have changed that way. I look back at my early plays, a play like My Darling Judith and a play like Windfall, and I read them now and I think, boy, I really don't want people to do these plays anymore. because the difference between then and what I'm doing now is so vast. I think, wow, that's so far in the past. That's my previous writing life. And I enjoy writing more now than I did before.
Oh, that's
lovely.
Fantastic.
I get up in the morning I used to do a radio show, and I had to get up at 4:30 in the morning. And now, and I did that for 20 years, and I still get up that early in the morning, and I start writing right away. And I can't wait to jump into that play with these characters and get to work on it. So I enjoy writing much more than I used to. It used to be work. I mean, it used to be fun, but it's still work. It's my job.
Sure.
But now it's just fun. It's exciting. Yeah.
What a blessing.
That is.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Seeing another question here.
Yeah.
How many years?
Celebrate your first performance of this play and the last.
I think 9 years. It would be 10 years, including this reading. I think we did it in 2010 at Upper Canada Playhouse in Morrisburg, and then we did it at the Foster Festival in 2015 or 16. I think it was the first season.
We also were up at Sudbury
last year.
Yeah,
in the winter 2019.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's over a decade. About a decade. Yeah, and
but a decade ago, I mean, that could be 40 years ago. A decade, 40 years, but it seems like a long time ago.
Here's a question: is there a genre that you haven't written that you would enjoy exploring? Let me see. I've written a Western. I loved writing the Western. I've written a farce. They are so hard. Jamie, you've written a farce. They are so hard to write that I don't think I would attempt another one. It's very difficult to write a good farce. Period. I've done a period piece. I'm going to be doing a period piece coming up soon. A detective. I did a comedy, like a play called The Last Resort, which was a comedy about a detective story about a murder mystery. So I don't think there's a genre that I haven't done that I would care to explore. I think if there was, then I would have tried it already.
Yeah, because you've written musicals as well.
Written about 6 or 7 musicals. I love those, but I never thought that I would. I never felt until the last one we did at the Foster Festival last summer, which was called Beside Myself. I never thought that I got it right. I think I finally got it right last year when Steve Thomas and I did Beside Myself.
Oh.
That was probably the closest I'd come to writing a good musical. And Steve had great music in it, of course. Steve's always got great music. So yeah. Okay, if you had to choose, which would you do, write or perform? Well, I've always said that writing is the work and performing is the fun, but writing is more satisfying for me. So if I had to make a choice, it would be the writing for sure. Yeah. But I love performing. Do you have a favorite play, or is it like picking a favorite child? Hilda's Yard. So no, it's not like picking a favorite child. My favorite play is Hilda's Yard, which was done at the Foster Festival last year, the year before. I like it because it's set in the 50s, the time when I grew up, and the 6 characters in the play are all, even though a couple of them are flawed terribly, they're all nice people. And I really enjoyed writing that story that was set in that time period with these nice people. And plus, I thought it was, had a few pretty good lines that are my favorites. So yeah, Hilda's Yard would be the play.
Oh, it's a great play. It's a great play.
Since you had 2 premieres at the festival each year, 3 last year, are you writing more than one play at a time, taking breaks at times to get it right? Most of the time, I work on one play. I get that done and go on to the next play. However, and it doesn't happen that much, but if I get stuck on this one play and don't know where it's going to go, I'll put it aside and go back to the other play. But usually I'm writing, starting one play and doing rewrites on the play before that I just finished. So yeah, I don't know if you'd call that working on 2 at once, but usually I like to do them like one play, get out of the way, and then start the next play. Yeah. And like I say, for me, it's not hard work. It's just something people say you must have to be very disciplined to write so many plays, and it's not a discipline. It's a case of loving what I'm doing. And I get up every morning and just jump right into it, and I just love it. And in fact, if anybody knows me, you'll know I'm the least disciplined person in the world. I'm lazy. So for me to have written so many plays is really a marvel.
Is it meditative at all? Like do you find do you get into a zone and just sort of fly with that, or yeah?
I get in if I get on a roll. Like when I'm writing, if I write 7-8 pages a day, that's a good day for me. Really good day. So if I'm on a roll like that and I'm writing, when I finish writing, it's like my mind is like a blur, and my eyes go fuzzy, and it's almost like a trance. And you got to snap out of it, snap yourself out of it. Because when you're writing, Jamie, you must know this too. When you're writing and you get on a roll like that just flows out and flows out. You don't want to stop. So yeah, it is like being in a trance almost. Almost like you're channeling these characters and they're telling you what to say. What to put down on the page. It's really.
Is it hard to let go of it for the rest of the day or the evening or whatever? Do you find that part of you is always thinking about it when you're in the creation part of it?
Yeah, here's what happened. That's a good question. Here's what happens. I think it was Ernest Hemingway who said, always finish writing for the day when you know what you're going to write the next day. Never stop when you're stuck at a point. Always know what you're going to write the next day. And I do that. So when I finish, I usually write until about noon or 1. And then I don't think about it for the rest of the day. Then when I go to bed at night, I lie there. The last thing I do before I go to sleep is think about the play and what I'm going to do tomorrow morning, what I'm going to start on tomorrow morning. When I get up in the morning, I start into it. And I always, every morning I read what I've written so far, whether it's 2 pages or 80 pages. I read what I've written so far. And that's like, priming the pump, get you going.
Yeah, for sure. Sure. Put you right back into the world.
Yeah.
Norm, further to this idea of, I've got a couple quick questions. Further to this idea of a muse or channeling or whatever, are you ever surprised by what you're writing?
Yeah.
Are you ever sort of taken aback by?
Yeah. A lot of times I'll be writing and I'll write a funny line and I'll laugh out loud. I think, that's funny. And you think, did I write that? You think
That's great.
Really, so I am surprised a lot of times by what I write, and sometimes if it's a touching scene, I read it back. I start to well up a little bit, think, oh God, that's so sweet. Oh wait, no, I wrote that. I can't say it. Yeah. So it's I tell you, overall, it's such a satisfying life being a writer. It's so satisfying when you get it right. There's nothing like it. It's right.
So parallels between your photography and your writing?
I think that what's the same about them is that you're composing both a picture and a play are composed. A photograph has to have the proper composition to it, and as does the play. Those are the main similarities between the two. But I just take most of the photographs I take now are of people. I like shooting people, and just the expressions on some faces or just the mood. I think it's the mood that really affects me. And you just look at the picture and say, "Oh wow, she was really happy there. He was so sad there." And that's what I like about photography. There's one more question. If you were stranded on an island, there was no one there to read it, would you still write?
That's a great question.
That's a great question. No, I don't think I would. I don't think I would. It would be so depressing to think, wow, I'm going to write this play and nobody's going to see it. Forget about it. No, I don't think I would. Norm, and Jamie, how do you think all things will change with theater productions with COVID? Well,
that's the $20 million question, isn't it?
Yeah. We're all hoping that it goes back to the way it was, that it'll pass and it will return to normal. We'll go into the theater. We'll be happy to sit down side by side with strangers and enjoy a production. We all hope that's what's going to happen. But quite frankly, I don't know if that will happen. And I don't know when it'll happen. I'm not as optimistic as others. Others say, oh, we'll be set to go in January, February of the next year. I think it's going to be till next summer until we start to feel that we're returning to normal. I don't like this thought of this at all. And of course, actors and writers, we're out of work. We're essentially out of work. It's quite the it's quite the thing.
There's a lot that has to be thought of, and solved problems that need to be solved in terms of getting things back on track. If theater's open to smaller audiences, what does that look like, and how does that affect budgets, and what sort of shows can be done, and
and even how the show is performed. I think it would seriously affect blocking, props, staging, all
how
that
the
sort of
audience
thing.
is housed, how the actors are accommodated in the community where these theaters are. There's a lot of modeling that has to be done before it can even start. So it's a question of time, and it may take longer than we'd hope. But in the long run, even if it takes a couple of years, I'm hoping that we do get back to where we were.
Oh, yeah.
We sure, I think the real value of that collective, wonderful experience of populations in a room together, close together, and breathing together and laughing together. We've discovered how incredibly important that is, because we miss it.
For sure. Yeah, we do.
I don't know what it's going to look like, but I do know that it's a really valuable, important part of being human to share in storytelling.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of creative minds that have dealt with large problems in the past and come up with great creative solutions, and they're all at work, and we're all at work trying to
brainstorm.
This out. So I'm sure in some way it will be back in a way that we can enjoy it again.
Yeah. Okay, I think we'll wrap up the question and answer now. Thanks, Jamie and Mel. This has been great.
Thanks, Norm.
I'm going to throw it back to Emily Oriole now, who's going to wrap things up for us. Bye, guys.
Hello, thank you, Norm and Jamie. Hi, Sarah. Sarah's here to say goodbye as well. Go ahead, Sarah.
Oh, goodbye. Hi, goodbye. Thanks, everyone, for participating. That was so great. And Emily, before we go, why don't you tell us a bit about the plans for the Foster Festival, what you're keeping up to?
Sure. Thank you so much. The Foster Festival right now is, as you may have seen, some of you, is our Norm Flicks series. This was the premiere of the artist aspect of that series. We also have an Ask a Legend series that's going to come out, where people are sending in questions for Norm to answer. And that Q&A was amazing. Thank you so much, everyone, for your questions. And then we'll have another third part of that series, which we will announce at a later date. Of course, we hope that at some point we can at least start gathering in smaller numbers, so that we can see you again and thank you all alive and see you well in person. And that's kind of what we're up to. But check our Facebook page, Foster Festival Facebook page, or fosterfestival.com to stay up to date. You can sign up for our e-newsletter as well. We announce everything that we're doing on there too.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Emily.
Thank you.
And thanks everybody for joining. It was great to kind of get the spirit of the Foster Festival back with us in our community. Again, to find out more about what the Foster Festival is doing and how you can support them, visit fosterfestival.com. We're so looking forward to having them back at the series next summer. Okay, so the Niagara Performs concert and event series continues with very special performance this Sunday from Culture Weekend. All of these performances have been special, but this performance is very special because it's the first time we're going to be live streaming from Partridge Hall. And we're very excited that it's Culture Weekend, and you're not going to want to miss their beautiful songwriting and their amazing harmony. And just to note, we know it's summertime, so starting this Sunday, our Niagara Performs online concert and event series will be at 7 o'clock on Sunday. It'll give everybody a bit more time to enjoy the summer weather, support local restaurants on those patios, enjoy the beach in the backyard, and then come back home and tune in online. And then following that, on Thursday, July 9th, we'll be joined by the Gallery Players of Niagara with Doug Miller on flute and Timothy Phelan on guitar. And they're going to be doing sunny selections of music from Brazil and Argentina alongside iconic movie themes and other gems. And then following on Sunday, July 12th, we'll present Niagara songstress Katie Gatta. So even though we can't be together, we're joining here together online for the Niagara Performs concert series and events, and supporting local artists and local arts organizations. So thank you for choosing to spend your time with us. And until we can come together in person, be safe and continue to support the arts. Bye, everyone.